Hey, Shalom, Maki. I'm just the brother Kalar from the GMS Dallas camp. And first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Again, I want to say call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and love to you brothers out there that are kicking this word in sincerity and in truth. And blessings to the elect, man. I was, looking at some pictures, man. I was Googling some things and came across this pic, man. It said the power of reading. If you look over to the left, you'll see that he found a book. He opened the book, started reading, and his eyes became a light, like it became the way that he see. It enlightened his path during his walk. And that sparked a few verses that popped in my mind, man. And I was just thinking how we can get caught up in listening to videos, which is nothing wrong with listening to videos, but reading. And the Elder Yashawamba said this all the time: it's the Lord supping with us, man. It's how we learn. It's how we know the law, statutes, and commandment. Of course, that the Lord put the Spirit on us to know those things, to understand them, and to get them. But through reading is how we find those things out, man. If we never read the Bible, somebody always told us, we'll never really fully understand what it actually means, man. It said, be not only hearers of the word, but also doers. And how do we be able to do that? We have to read that thing, man. And just without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into, some scriptures, man. This is Revelations chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. It said, blessed is he that readeth, man. If you read these words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, man, you know what I'm saying, and the Spirit is on you, and Lord willing, we are of the elect. We're the ones that that are called and chosen. We are blessed, man. To know this truth is a blessing, man. Because when you read, man, you understand those things, man. You get to see firsthand. You get to see firsthand for yourself, man. And it says that, let a man be persuaded in his own mind, through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, of course. But when you read those things, man, that everything start coming into play. Those videos that you watch, start resonating in your mind. You're like, oh, that's what he was talking about in the video. Now I understand because you read that, man. You got commentaries, man, that you read. You got the lexicon, all these other things that helped you incorporate into those things, but you have to read them, man. There's a phrase that they, was coined back a long time ago, man. Almost a half a century ago, said that reading was fundamental, and that, matter of fact, let me get it. I pulled it up. I just want to get it as well. Etymon of that word fundamental is primary, original, pertaining to a foundation, man. Of the late Latin fundamentalis. Well, I'm pronouncing that right. Of the foundation, and that's what you read. That's how we, that foundation, those milk scriptures, man. To read that, you get that foundation. That's what that foundation you could build upon. It said in music it refers to the Lord's note of Korba. And it said fundamentals, a primary principles or rules. The law, statutes, and commandments, man. Those are the primary principles and rules of this thing, man. And how are you going to know those things if you don't read them? Somebody can tell you, man, oh, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that, man. You're like, man, I live my life. But once you actually read it, and the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah resonates in you, and you like, oh, man, I shouldn't do that, man. I shouldn't eat that pork, man. I shouldn't commit adultery. You know, those are that's when you read, you find out those primary principles and rules, man. You know, and that word fundamental, man, it's like you see the word fund and you see mental. You know, it's like funds to the mental, like to the mind. When you read, that's money in the mind, that's money in the bank. You know, that it's like repetition, man. The more you read something, the more you know it's better with learning. You know, the more we read these scriptures, go over these scriptures, man. You know, it's funds to it's money in the bank, funds to the mental, man. You know, let me get a few more verses, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start with this. Since I had that picture up there, I thought of this verse as well. This is Psalms chapter 119, verse 105. None. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path, man. You know, the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is a lamp unto the feet and a light to the path, man. You know, we won't be able to see. This world is gross darkness, man. We won't be able to see if we never read these scriptures, man. You know? The word is a lamp unto thy feet, man. The word. And how do you understand words? You have to read them, man. You know? Somebody can give you a word. Somebody could tell you a word and give you a definition, man, and it could be absolutely wrong. How do you find out that word and that definition is true, man? By reading it yourself, research it, looking into it yourself. And when you look into stuff, you have to read. You know, it's a thing that we like to mention within GMS. Is the microwave society, man. Everybody's doing audio books, you know, stuff of that nature, man. Which, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a cool aspect, you know, within technology. But when I'm reading audio books, man, I'm listening to audio books, Salakia, but I like to read alone, man. You know, that's when I get the full grasp of what's going on. You know, because you know, and I'm not ashamed to admit this. You know, when sometimes when I read without music or you know something playing, you know, I get sleepy, man. Due to my work schedule, I get off pretty late. You know, and so to help me keep me up, you know, I do audio. You know, I put it in my ears, man, and that keeps me up. But I also read alone. You know, and then when I get to a point where I see something that sparks my spirit or sparks my interest, man, I read into the commentary of that. I look into it a little deeper, man. You know, but that's still on the same sense of me reading. You know, let's get a few more scriptures, man. This is Joshua. You know, Salaki, my phone's a little slow. This is Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. This book of law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. You know, that's what we should do, man. You know, meditate on these scriptures day and night. And how do you meditate on scriptures, man? Read them, you know, that thou may observe to do according to all that is written therein. Written. How do you recite something that is written? You have to read it, man. Like I said, that's the Lord supping with us, man. That's the Lord giving us these instructions, man. You know, no, reassuring us that he's not slack concerning this promise, man. You know, but all this is done through reading, man. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. That's the light unto the path, man. Make that way prosperous, man. How can you see the way without the light? You know? You got to have that light, man. And his word is that light, man. His word is that lamp to light that path, man. It's beautiful all in a sense, man. That's why the Lord wrote it down, man. Had men to write it down so we can read it, man. And through centuries and centuries, man, of this being, you know, changed and all of this extra stuff, man, the Lord still had it written down through time so we can read it. Think about that, man. Like I said, all the stuff that's coming out, audio books. You got preachers that standing in the pulpit preaching to you and don't even tell you to bring a Bible to church. Most of them barely have Bibles in church. Oh, turn your page to so and so, so and so, and he'll read it out to you, man. You don't have to read within the society that we're in right now. But those of us that are in the know, those of us that are called, that have been called, Lord willing that we're chosen, the Lord told us to read, man. And it's beautiful how he had things written down all throughout time. This book still holds weight to this day, man, and we have to read it. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, man. Oh, shoot. I want to get some more verses, man. This is Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, man. If you never read this thing, man, somebody came to you, told you about this and this and this and this, and like a lot of people do, man, they discredit it because they haven't read it. They haven't took time to research and understand it, man. And overall that the Lord is not dealing with them, man. But it said it was written for a time. It was written for our learning, man, because we have to read. We have to sit down and get into these scriptures, man. This is not something you could just hear and think you got it, man. Everybody can regurgitate words, man. Everybody can be a parrot and mock what they hear, but understanding what you hear, man, reading it and understanding what you hear, that puts you on a whole nother level, man. That puts you on a whole nother level, bro. And this thing about man, reading is a plus, man. And I can say that, like I said, I'm not ashamed to admit it for myself. Reading was a hard thing for me back in the day, man. And but due to being, the one that didn't want to read, a lot of people always put you on that forefront to try to make you read, man. And I had a hard time with it, man. Hard time. But when I came into this truth, man, being built up in this thing and being unctuous, about preaching the word, man, I became a speaker, man. And the water Yahweh Shimi, I was shot for that, man. Call halal Yahweh Shimi, I was shot. Broke me out of my shell, man. Because then I wanted to say something, man. I wanted to say something through the fact that I had been reading and learning these things, man. And wanted to glorify the name of Yahweh Shimi, I was shot, man. It said, for whatso things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Through comfort of the scriptures, through patience, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Man, that word patience means to suffer, man. You see, you had that suffer and that comfort of the scriptures, man. The scriptures are here to comfort us, man. When you read these things, when you read certain scriptures, man, they comfort you, man, because you're doing all this time. We know that every brother can attest that they're ready to get up out of here, man, because they know how messed up this world is, man. Every brother can attest that they're ready to get up out of here. That's that patience. We have to suffer through whatever we're going through, man, endure. But we got the comfort of the scriptures, man, that give us hope that it's coming, man. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, man. Waiting on the Lord. The Lord is our shepherd, we shall not want. That's comfort, man. Through reading, Three more scriptures and I'm out of here, man. I don't, keep, I'll make this long, but just got a few more. This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of souls and spirit, and to the joint and marrow, is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. It said for the word. That's when you read, man. When you actually read these words, man, and it resonates you, man, you get cut. These words can change your life. You know, when you get cut by a scripture from when you read and you get cut by a scripture that makes you want to go harder, makes you want to go further, makes you want to endure. Like, man, I gotta change that up, man. But how would you know that if you didn't read it? You know, like I said, I always like to bring up a time, man, when I was at camp. You know, well, this was I was on the other side, and before I crossed over, the Yatazak was preaching, man. Yatazak were preaching, and I had read this verse before. I had read it, but it never resonated to me like that until he said it, and I was looking down at my Bible and I was reading it with him, and it hit me. He said that when you mortify those members, man. Like I said, I had read it before, and it didn't resonate with me till he said it. I'm looking at it again, you know. And one of the members I had to mortify was not reading, you know. Like I had to learn, I had to read, man. I was a babe and I had to learn how to start reading again. Like I said, you know words, you know how to say them, you know how it is, you know, commas, punctuation, but some people just don't like reading, man. I was one of those people, man. I did not like reading. But the more I read, the more I understood, the more I seen things for what they were, man. You know? And that's one of those members I had to get rid of, was not wanting to read. Man, the Most High is beautiful, man. One more verse, man. This is 1 Timothy chapter 14, verse 3. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. You know? He said, till I come, man. All you have to do is give attendance to reading, to exhortation, and to doctrine, to reading. Learn what I said, man. I gave you the manual. You got to read it. You can't put stuff together if you don't read the manual, man. You know? You to put your life together, to see where you're actually going within this life, that you know, Yahweh Shai gave us a manual. And just listening to it would not help you put it together, man. Yes, watching videos is beautiful, man, because you get to see the spirits of other brothers, man, preaching, man. It's a beautiful thing, you know. But when you read for yourself, the Lord is supping with you, man. The things that those brothers are telling you, how start coming to life. Start resonating that spirit of yours, man. You know? Like Apostle Tahar said in one of his videos, he come up with videos by listening to other brothers' videos. You know? And he reads. Like I said, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost with this video, man. You know? That's why I made it. To push myself to a point where I have to read more. You know? When I get to a point where I want to read, I'm going to look back at this video. It said, till he come, give attendance to read. How we going to know? How we going to be ready for that coming if we don't read what he said, man? How we going to teach our people if we don't read what he wrote, man? What he had men to write? You know? How we going to know that everybody won't make it if we don't read? How we going to know who the other nations are if we don't read? Reading is funds to the mental. It's money in the bank, man. Like I said, I'm talking to myself first and foremost, man. We have to read more, man. We have to get into this word. We have to study more. Man, you know, Lord willing, that was edifying, Akim. You know, just wanted to come to y'all with a quick video, you know, on something I had on my spirit, man. But with that being said, I wanted to say, call halal, Yahweh Shimi Abashai, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that do rule well, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.